Yay, it says I am live. Merry Christmas to everybody that is near and far. Hopefully, you're having a wonderful day. Um, yeah, hopefully, you're having a nice time with family and friends or whatever. But most importantly, hopefully, it's vegan because realistically, the celebrating with dead animals is out. That's the thing of the past. So, super excited to be here. Hey, David D, how's it going? Let me turn on this to live chat. David says, "Merry Christmas." Aw, thanks. I bought you a touch screen. I'm really doing very good at reading today. Touch screen laptop as a Christmas gift. Aw, but it still needs to be delivered. Thank you. I appreciate that. Quad Core 1015. Nice. Sweet. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'll have to do an unboxing video when it gets here. Hey Kyle, how's it going? Hopefully you're doing well. I have some gifts here from you to open. Yeah, I said that right. So if you're here, I will do that. But also, I'm at my friend's house and I got to put together some Lego cars today. This one is pretty sweet. Like the top comes up, you can see in the engine, and ooh, pretty sweet ride if I do say so myself. So that's pretty cool. I also put together a Batmobile, which was like 400 and some pieces, and helped fix another car. And there's like this SUV thing that needs to be assembled as well. So I'm gonna do that probably after I get done. It's fun stuff. I love Legos. I got to go to Legoland was it this year? A few months ago, and that was pretty cool. The rides weren't like that great, but it was, they had a bunch of Lego stuff, obviously, and like a whole area where they had different sections of um like the world built. Like they had San Francisco, and they had like the Golden Gate Bridge, and they had like the Statue of Liberty, and like things from over here from England. And like it's actually really cool. You probably can see pictures of it online, but um yeah, Legoland. David D says, "Love Lego." Yeah, me too. Best looking Lego car I've ever seen. Oh, thanks. Should have brought the Batmobile in. But it's like as soon as I got done like putting it together, I gave it to the kid, and like within 5 or 10 minutes, I had to start fixing it. So I'm like, let's just put this up on the shelf because I don't want to sit here and fix this all day long. But yeah, pretty sweet. I think the seats like fold down too, which are pretty cool. Yeah, Lego's definitely worth that. Um, Aw, Nicholas, that's sweet. OMG, and Anna, I wanted to always tell you you're the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. Aw, thanks. I mean it. You're natural. Thanks. I appreciate that. David says, Lego used to be all about using your imagination, but now it looks like it's all kits. Yeah, a lot of them are. And I don't know, I've seen some pretty cool like videos online of people that have like really big Lego rooms in their house, and like just all sorts of collectors items that are already built. And I don't know, it's pretty cool. Legos are definitely something that I want my future children to play with because that means I get to play with them too. All right, Kyle, are you here? Because I was going to open this gift when you come around. So yeah, my Christmas has been pretty good so far. I'm hanging out with my friend and the kids that I usually babysit for. And yeah, it's been pretty good. I woke up this morning at like 5 to them all screaming about Santa Claus. And yeah, so anyways, Kyle's here. Okay, cool. All right, I think this is the first one that you sent me. So I'll open that one first. Da, 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 da. Nicholas says, Inanna, please tell me how I can meet you in person. I would travel the other side of the world to meet a unique person like you. Well, anyone is technically invited to any of the events that I put on. Usually during the summer full moons, I take a big buffet up underneath the full moon on Mount Shasta, have a giant fire. Every time is a little bit different. So, music, drumming. Sometimes it's a little bit quieter and we get to talk, and those are my favorite times. So that'll probably be starting in maybe July or August. I'm not sure when July full moon is. Let's see, July 2025 full moon. Okay, so Thursday the 10th is July's full moon. It'll just depend if they have the gate open to Bunny Flat or not. So I guess it really will depend on the weather. With the snow is melted, so I'll keep you informed on that. Ooh, nice. What does it say? Oh man, sweet. This is. Did you design this, Kyle, or did this actually come from Bring Me the Horizon? Kind of almost looks like a custom shirt, but thank you. Sweet. Bring Me the Horizon. Nice. Thanks. Oh, there's a little tag in here. Ooh, it came with a sticker. Nice. It came that way. Okay, cool. Nicholas said if I was an alien, I would abduct you. Oh, taking people hostage now, are we? Oh, it's a cow. Aw, look at how cute he is. Now Mr. Cow will have a friend. Palm pals, collect them all. Thank you. I love cows. So cows are like the coolest animal. Well, maybe like lions too, but cows are definitely awesome. So thank you. I appreciate that. Cute cow. Yeah. So yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. I got quite a few gifts that I got to open today, and waiting for my mom to be done with their little celebration so that I can give her a call. But otherwise, I'm just hanging out today, and I don't know what I'm going to do. So thanks for being here. Nicholas says, Inanna, I know you. I'm sure I know you from my past life. Well, that wouldn't surprise me because there's only one Earth, and we all keep coming back and essentially doing the same things. Like, I know my soul comes and goes back to Mount Shasta to try to start a golden age because that's what my soul came here to do. And so, like, even just, if your soul's been to Mount Shasta, if you even live in Mount Shasta, like all of these things, there's a very high likelihood that our paths are going to cross. And yeah, it's kind of cool to think about past lives and just like different friendships and relationships or whatever that you've had with people in the past, and all of those kinds of connections. It's cool to think about. Sweet. Kyle said, drink some mint tea and chill. Don't mind if I do. That's really funny. Anyways. Nicholas says, Inanna, do you like cows? I love cows. I've always loved cows. Other than other animals, I always loved cows and cats. Okay, interesting. What kind of cats? Not house cats, hopefully. Hopefully they're lions. But yeah, last year for Christmas, David D bought me cow hug therapy. So I actually got to go and like get up close and personal with some cows and really just love on them. And that was really cool. So thank you again for that, David. That was really cool. David D says, our souls consented to enter this world to bring heaven to earth. That's why the white hats, real humans, are here. Exactly. As I've said many times before, if all the good souls just say we don't want to go back in there, it's just going to leave the playing field for all the bad souls, and they're just going to keep dragging the mother down more into darkness, because that's what they're here for. They chose the black hat. They're choosing to play on the other side. So, if the world is left up to them alone, it's not going to last very long, because Sophia doesn't want to just be this nightmarish hell where everyone's being, crushed down and the innocents are being tortured and eaten. And yeah, she'll put up with it for a little while, but eventually she needs that light at the end of the tunnel too, the golden age, right? So that's what we're here for. Let's make it happen, peeps. David says, of course, you need to hug some cows. Yeah, I would love to have a cow sanctuary someday and just have them just all around me. And I don't know, they're so cool. Lots of videos online of them like playing with giant balls and Like, I don't know, cows seeing grass for the first time in the spring, and they like go and jump around, and they're like huge dogs. They're so cool. So yeah. Dark forces claim they serve the mother, but they drag her soul down with their evil. Yeah, like we've said before, I know a lot of people already know all this stuff, but the chessboard needs the white and the black pieces, needs the dark and the light, and they like to say that they are giving the mother the wisdom that she's looking for, while also hurting her in the long run. So it's an interesting situation. But yeah, she's feeling all the pain that we're feeling, and every single piece of physical matter is her. So she gets all of the abuse that everybody is experiencing. So if anyone can say continue or not, it's her. Nicholas says, what makes me speechless is the fact that a beautiful girl like you is on YouTube and is not in Hollywood. Well, I'm a real girl, so that would be why. You seek like someone who can be in Hollywood movies. Oh, thanks. Yeah, like David D says, Inanna is a real girl. Hollywood celebrities are all inverts. None of them are real humans. Exactly. It's a closed arena, right? So ever since Hollywood has been started, ever since all of these different groups, the Olympics, all of it, it's all been controlled in the start, and then they control who gets in. So if you're a real human, no matter how good you are, no matter how talented you are, no matter how pretty you are, you don't get to be a part of it because it's all inverts. And then it's more easily controlled. There's no wild cards. They're all essentially playing for the same team. So there's no there's no chance that their secrets are going to be exposed by anybody in the group because everyone has the same blackmail against them, and ultimately the same agenda that they're all trying to bring about their new world order. So that's what we're up against. Kyle says, did you have breakfast this morning? I have not eaten at all today, actually. I had some vegan biscuits and gravy. Oh, that sounds nice. Did you make that or did your mom make it? I haven't had biscuits and gravy for a long time, but gravy sounds really good. I'm not really sure what I'm going to have today. I think I probably will just have like a vegan burger and do like nothing really that special because I went all out for Thanksgiving and that was a lot of work, and I'm happy to do it in that situation. I had help and it was for other people. So that was really great. But this is just for me. So I don't think I'm going to do anything. So yeah. Oh, your mom made it. That's nice. Did she have some too? Does she eat like the meals and stuff that she makes for you, or does she mainly just do it for you and then like have her own thing on the side? David D says Satan and his demons do not allow real humans to find fame or riches. Only inverts make it in this controlled reality. Yeah, and then they give us these fake stories of, fame and glory and like, oh, I went on American Idol or I was discovered in a bar or something like this. When all of these people were basically groomed and raised for those roles. But they give us this fake idea of being able to go to Hollywood and make it big, right? And then you actually go to Hollywood and where you find the real humans is laying out on the ground, piss drunk. They wet themselves, like they go there with all of these hopes and dreams, and then they just get completely crushed down. And it's really sad actually to see Hollywood. I went there a few years back for the Save the Children's rally, which is interesting. All of that stuff that was going on, and was it during or like right after COVID or something, or was it before? I don't remember. But yeah, I think that was the first time that I got to go to Hollywood too, and I remember just going and stomping on the stars and like just kind of being really disrespectful to these clowns because they're nothing to write home about. They shouldn't be on any pedestals. They're not good souls. Obviously, people can do good and bad things, but they again chose the black hat. They chose to come in here for that side, for that team to experience life on that end of the spectrum. So yeah. Kyle says sometimes she'll eat what she makes for me, but not all the time. We had family over and she made all the food for everyone here. She made mine separately. Oh, well, that's really nice that she made it for you and made it separately for you. Yeah. It's always really nice when people's families, make an effort. So yeah. TVD says very similar to the movie The Running Man. They advertise that humans can win this game and make it big, but the truth is real humans can't make it. I'm not sure if let me look up this. With Arnold Schwarzenegger. In the year 2019, America is a totalitarian state where the favorite television program is The Running Man, a game show in which prisoners must run to freedom to avoid a brutal death. Interesting. It's kind of like, it reminds me of the Squid Games, right? Having been made a scapegoat by the government and imprisoned, Arnie has the opportunity to make it back to the outside again by being a contestant. Interesting. I'll be back. Okay. I'll have to leave this up and potentially watch it later because it's interesting how much truth in plain sight that they are constantly putting into the media. And realistically, we have to remember that it's not for our entertainment. They're not sitting there like, how can we keep humans having fun and laughing and watching great movies? Like, that's not their intent. And it's kind of evident when you watch a lot of movies and how bad they are. Like, wow, that was a really terrible movie. But it's for the programming. It's for the, desensitization to whatever agendas that they are promoting. And yeah, like I've said a million times, oh, this story is by Stephen King too. That's cool. What was I going to say? I don't know. Nicholas says, Inanna, I loved your old self when you used to tell people that you would cut their heads off. Oh, well, that's not my old self, buddy. I'm still here. It made me happy listening to you talk like that. A real badass. Oh, thanks. Yeah. It'd be nice to get to the golden age without head chopping, but sometimes things gotta happen to make a point of things. So we'll see what happens. Squid Games is that's what I was talking about. The truth in plain sight. In all of the programming and even the predictive programming where they warn us that they're going to do this and then use that through these different mechanisms to basically tell us ahead of time to alleviate their karma, right? If someone's like, hey, I'm going to play a practical joke on you, and they tell you like even multiple times and then you still fall for the joke, that's on you at that point, isn't it? Like, you ignored the message, you ignored the warnings, you ignored all of the signs, you ignored them telling you that it was a joke, and you still like got upset or whatever, So yeah. Squid Games is more anti-human programming. They want to program us to view humans as disposable. Definitely. And that we're the cattle on their farm, right? Like, most people are completely unaware of the fact that we are on a human farm, and they've just made the farm look really, we have all these freedoms and we have all this technology and all these things, right? So it's like we enjoy our cage, our slavery. And most people do, to some extent. They just are fine with the rat race, the 9 to 5 wheel turning, and then they're going to wake up someday and really regret that they lived their life that way and only did what they were programmed to do. It's really sad to, talk to older people that regret that. My mom used to work in a nursing home, and like, there's a lot of sadness and regret, and it's like people that when they don't have any confidence in like the next life, when they don't know, it can be really scary for them and sad and lonely too, especially without their families and all that stuff. So anyways, hopefully, I don't know, the thing, in the golden age, we're gonna have better everything, better food, better air quality, better water, better everything. And it'll be interesting to see how the aging, how aging actually works when we're putting in the right fuel and we're in the right environment that's not harmful to us. Like, that's going to be super cool. Even the Clementine homilies talks about how, because humans have filled the earth with such violence, there's just death in the air basically, and by just breathing all of this death, we're killing ourselves. We're, creating diseases, and not creating diseases, but an environment where diseases can thrive because of all of this evil. So it'll be really cool to see what life is like without that, layer of death in the air. Ba, ba, ba. And Anna, do you remember the girl Kala Nelson? That sounds really familiar. Is she on Facebook? I think I might actually be thinking of somebody else, so I'm not sure who you're referring to, Nicholas. Okay. Oh, Nicholas, that's cool. Okay, I'm not sure that we're friends anymore on Facebook, or though. Facebooker, that's a thing. Sweet. Well, nice to meet you through this other method. Cool. David D says it is an illusion of freedom. Really, they keep us in economic cages. We can't afford to travel much at all. We all have to work all the time. Exactly. That's how they want it, right? Go to work, come home, you're too tired to play with your kids, go to bed, wake up, do it all over again. And then it's like the time goes so fast. Just yesterday, I was talking to the mom here about like how everything's just so fast and going. But it's like, especially when you're living in like a matrix lifestyle, right? Where your kids are going to school and they have all these other activities. Everyone's going every which way. And it's just like chaos all the time and going. Like, it's kind of sad, because kids don't get to enjoy growing up, and the parents don't get to enjoy the kids growing up either, because everything's just so fast. So Nicholas said that Kala Nelson is missing. How long has she been missing? Yeah, I think it's been a few years since I heard from her, actually. So I'm from another country and no one would help me. Wow. Not her family or anything like that. That's wow. David D says they did offer remote jobs before, but most of these remote workers are being forced back into the office. Wasn't the remote jobs is mainly like during COVID that really spiked up, and like, yeah, I don't really remember it being such a big, obviously people did before, but I don't remember it being on my radar as something that was like as popular before COVID. But yeah, and then you have to consider all the AI that they're coming out with too, right? Like using AI of just so many different programs that they can write for you. They can write music. Kyle loves to use AI to make music, to make artwork, to literally you name it. And there's probably a program for AI to do it for you, do it better than you. Well, I don't know about better, right? Because if you're actually writing music or making artwork, your heart and soul goes into that, and like there's that passion, right? That life in it. Whereas AI doesn't have inspiration, doesn't have the care and the energy to put in it like a human does. So obviously they're not going to be able to replace that aspect, but pretty much every other aspect that they can. And then, the robots coming down the line to get everybody out of their jobs, which it's kind of funny because when I started waking up, that was in 2015, I was like, oh my gosh, robots are going to take over and we're not going to have any jobs. And like, seeing it as a negative thing. But realistically, in the golden age, that's what I see happening anyways. It's like, we shouldn't be doing all this nonsense. We should just be having fun and living life and exploring and, having babies and stuff. So, yeah. David says during COVID, they moved a huge portion of the population into remote jobs. Exactly. Now they're forcing people back into the office, then laying them off. And then they can't get a new job because almost all jobs posted now are ghost jobs, not real jobs, created to destroy our hope. Yeah, I think I was like reading or listening to a talk about something like that. Um, yeah, about people, and they have all these job interviews, and they'll actually go through the whole interview with people and, basically string them along, and then the person doesn't get a job. Obviously, with the powers that be, it is a bad thing because they are anti-human. They want you to be desperate and poor and in their breadlines and, feeling useless and depressed about yourself. But in the future, in the golden age, it will be a great thing. Nicholas said, I tried talking to many other people from her family. Looks like American family don't really care about their relatives. I don't know what to do. Her dad died recently. Nicholas, we should talk on Facebook or something, and you can give me some more of the details about when she went missing and all the stuff that you know. I'm not really sure how much help that I can provide, but I would definitely like to, know what's going on and do what I can, even if it's just, putting out a Facebook post or something. There are some different missing people groups on Facebook, especially like in the area that I'm from. It's like missing 530 or something, like the area code, and people are just constantly posting stuff on there. And I've seen some people get good results and find their family members and stuff too. So definitely reach out to me. I'd be interested to know what's going on with that. Hey Abdullah, how's it going? Been a long time since I've been here. Yeah, it has. Hopefully you're having a good day. Merry Christmas. Nicholas said, if you know anyone from the police department or the army or FBI, they will be able to help. I don't personally have any connections to those groups or any people in government. But yeah. Abdullah A says, your camera is way better now. Oh, thanks. I'm actually using my friend's laptop. I'm in his office. So um, I guess it's the least that I can do since I'm making all of these cars for their children and being a free babysitter. So Dave says, so many companies are paying to post job and even taking job seekers through multiple rounds of interviews for a job that doesn't exist. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. And it'll be interesting to see what else they do, like with the economy and things going forward. Obviously, the powers that be control the economy. They can make it, they can make gas prices $2 or they can make them $50. They literally can manipulate every single part of the chain to further their agendas. So, yeah. Abdul A says, I don't celebrate it. Okay. A lot of people don't, especially in the truther community. I definitely went through a phase. I remember one Christmas telling my family, like, this is the last Christmas I'm going to spend with you guys because, especially if you're going to start preaching the Bible at me, like, the Bible specifically says in Jeremiah not to have a tree. Like, don't go out into the woods like the heathens and stick up a tree and decorate it. And literally says that. So, and even further, like the history of Christmas it's not Christ's birthday. It was like the people that wanted to establish the church take these pagan religious practices and their traditions and stuff and try to twist it into fitting into their religion to bring people in to mainly just bring people in, right? So yeah, I think that Christmas was originally, a celebration of the winter solstice, and also a fertility festival to flood the world with Virgos. So, real cool. The idea of Christ being conceived at Christmas time and, then born in August or September. And yeah, so hopefully people wake up and, I mean, if you're going to celebrate, just celebrate it for the reason that it is. Like, let's not make up false reasons and let's not tell our kids about Santa Claus. Like, let's just stop with this. Like, it's sad because, your parents work really hard and then they give all the credit to Santa Claus for everything. And then, like, you don't get thanked or, I don't know. I think there just should be a connection with that. Like, you're giving someone a gift because you love them, because you care about them, and all these other reasons like that. Why throw that away and give it to Santa Claus? I don't know. Not my thing. So Nicholas says I will be dead by the next 6 months. Oh wow. Where did you come from, Nicholas, and where are you at now? If you want, we could just talk on Facebook. It would be a little bit easier. But Abdullah A says it's supply and demand, or it's simply supply and demand. Yeah, definitely. Jesus was born in spring. Yeah, and it makes more sense that well, I don't know about spring, but that the new year would be more towards like when things are coming to life, like during the spring, rather than in the dead of winter. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of things about our time and our calendar and stuff that needs change, right? The 13 months having an equal amount of days every month. And actually, like, the moon is what tells us the day of the month, right? We live in a timepiece, which is so cool. Like, I don't know, there's just so many cool aspects about flat Earth, but the fact that, like, all of these time things, you can tell, like, if you are learned enough, you'll be able to tell like what time it is by the stars, what season it is, and all these different factors just by looking up. Like, how cool is that? I don't know, intricate, intelligent design. Just God's pretty cool in my book. Dave G says we are being laid off, given false hope, no income, unaffordable housing, and groceries. Everything is becoming worse and worse. Hell for more and more of us. Yeah, and then how soon till the like stimulus checks come back? Not exactly like that, but like a universal income type thing, which, realistically, the powers that be print money. So why don't we use the money to make the world a better place and make all the humans prosperous and make sure that nobody has to go without? Um, well, I'm not the one controlling the printing machine, or else I would just keep going. Obviously, I understand that not having the money, the gold to back it up or whatever, like, we're already there though. We're already pretending that all this monopoly money means something. So, why don't we just keep pretending for a little while until we get to the golden age, and then everyone's happy, and then we can just have fun and not worry about it. Okay. Abdullah A, I'm not really sure what you're talking about. In the Quran, it said Mary was eating seasonal fruits. Are you talking about during the time that Christ was born? I have not read that from the Quran, but I was reading recently some quotes from Christ from Islam, which is really cool. It's interesting how other religions like Buddhism, Hinduism, Islam, like, they basically, like, they love Christ, right? They revere him. He's a prophet. He's a good person. Like, they all embrace Christ. And then oh, there's a foot massager underneath this desk. And then, like, all the people that are like Christian, just basically, your religion's evil. You're of the like, they don't have like any. I don't want to necessarily say tolerance is not really the right word, but I don't know. They're just so close-minded to it. Meanwhile, like, the person that they're across from is like hugging Christ, and then they're just like, "You're evil." Like, I don't know. It's just interesting, yeah. David D says the crazy thing is the number of houses sitting empty. Over 10 empty houses for every homeless person. Wow. Is deliberately being made intolerable. And once you have no job, no income, no home, they have made being homeless illegal. So they arrest and jail desperate humans. It's diabolical. It really is. And honestly, like, all these problems, we keep coming back to the vegan issue because, like, I don't know, forcing animals to be in cages or be outside in the snow. And I don't know, there's just so many connections with what we're doing to them and how we're getting treated ourselves. And like, we can't expect to experience a better world if we don't do better ourselves, because we're the ones that made this mess. So yeah. Abdul A says until we get to Armageddon. Oh, before Christ was born. Okay, interesting. I'll have to look into that, Abdullah A. And some more of this stuff from the Quran about Christ. Hey, Lily, Lilwart Stay frosty, chat. Abdullah, are you really going back through and deleting all of your messages after I respond to you? I'm going to kick you out. In the Quran, Zechariah saw Mary having off-seasonal fruits in her house where she was seeking spiritual retreat. Oh, okay. Interesting. David, he says, we are in the end times now. It is why everything is becoming so unbearable. The evil was drip, drip, drip for decades. Now it's open, full blast. Yeah, like when I was growing up, I would be like, oh man, I wish I grew up in the I Love Lucy days, because the husband and wife don't even like sleep in the same bed on TV. And now you can't even like watch a horror movie or something without seeing nudity. And it's just, you can't even like have a ad for a cheeseburger, vegan cheeseburger, of course, without having some like girl in a bikini, like taking a bite, you know. It's just, it's crazy how far the pendulum has swung in the opposite direction. And they're, you know, they're trying to make their last run for, you know, their time's running out. So it's like, hurry up and get in as much as you can. Try to, you know, get as many deceived, get in as many on your team as you can, so that they can try to win. You know, we have to work together as humans to manifest this world, the golden age, and they're getting the humans to want this world to, you know, even just all the degeneracy and stuff that is against the golden age, right? Like in the golden age, we're going to have real knowledge about sex and how these connections are really important and should be treated importantly rather than just flippantly. You know, even like tantric and different practices like that can be shared generally through the population, and just encourage people to you know, respect themselves and respect others too, because you're really not respecting yourself or other people when you're sleeping around and just having that connection without having the actual connection and the love and the intent behind it. So yeah. Tiffany says, exactly, we can't expect a better world until we are better to the other species. A golden age requires a vegan population, or it literally won't be a golden age for the innocent. Yeah, exactly. And what was I gonna say? Yep. Abdul says, when she was asked, she replied that God's blessings were coming to her through angels. To be fair, it doesn't seem like a big deal nowadays. Oh. Yeah, I'm not sure. Kyle said, if only people would treat all animals the way they treat their pets. Yeah. Can get really frustrating, like, around people that have pets and they're, like, non-vegan. It's like, is your dog for dinner? Like, I gotta bite my tongue to not make jokes about, you know, why not eat your dog if you're gonna, like, eat a cow? Because cows are way cuter than your dog. Just... David says the inverts are really focused on war, not just with Russia/China, but between men and women, young and old, based on race, whatever they can do to divide us and stop us unifying as one. Exactly. Turn everybody into the worst versions of themselves possible with all the programming and, you know, different forms of abuse and stuff that we go through in life. And then, you know, humans don't even want to fight together. You know, we can't fight our common enemy if we're all fighting each other. And that's why they do it. Exactly. Some cultures do eat dogs, Abdullah A. I agree. That is all due to our programming. So it's kind of like, if you were born in that other country, you would be probably eating dogs too. So just think about that, right? Like, you can't, I don't know. It's with so many different things too. It's like, if you were born in that country, you would probably have this different religion, right? And like, I don't know. It's so much of it is just where we are located and what we're born into in that manner. Doubt Buddhism mentions Jesus. Well, actually, I was involved with a Buddhist cult this past summer, and they are definitely into Jesus. So. But yeah, as far as degeneracy goes, I meant like sleeping around and sexual confusion and perversion and just misuse of the gift of sex that God created for us, or well, created for us, whatever. I don't know. Kyle says it's pretty sickening when these videos pop up of people eating sea creatures alive. I know, right? Like, it's crazy, but they start desensitizing you like at a really young age too. So even with like the hunting culture, and like you become a man when you go and kill your first deer, and like all this, I don't know, just evil programming. But yeah, the alive sea creatures is really messed up. David D says the frustration just goes up and up as regular people struggle worse and worse. Then we are blasted with programming of the only way to make serious money is OnlyFans. Yeah, sexual corruption for cash. And then you also got to wonder how many real girls even make it big on that. Make it big, whatever, because that's going to be completely controlled as well. So, you know, your top account. I've never even been on OnlyFans, so I have no clue how it works or any, like, no idea, thankfully. But like the most popular ones are going to be inverts again, especially if they're only taking pictures naked. Like they can tuck themselves, and you know they can get away with a lot when they're doing those kinds of things. So I don't know. Just I'm glad that I'm not like that. So I'm glad that I'm not like that, as in I'm not exposed in a world that, like, I don't want to be a part of that world, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Thankfully, no OnlyFans. Yeah. God created sex to be between a man and a woman, created to be a spiritual experience, but Satan wants men masturbating to fake porn girls that are always inverted men. Satan wants everything gay. Yeah, well, that's the way to corrupt people, right? Well, one of the many ways. And also controlling, the population in some ways too, because you're not going to have so many people breeding because they're unnatural. And yeah, so all these things definitely need to be addressed in the golden age and understood from a more spiritual level. But yeah, I definitely agree that sex is supposed to be a spiritual experience, and a connecting experience. And yeah, I definitely preach against masturbation and all of that. Like, I have done a lot of research into semen retention. Many of you guys have as well. And there's so many great benefits. It's really interesting, like even just how like much nutritional value is lost by spilling your seed. And then to think like that little boys are like told to do this. Some parents even encourage it, right? Like it's really a disgusting and bizarre like situation. Like, no, you shouldn't be ashamed of sex or whatever like this, but what you're doing, you should be ashamed of. Like God is watching, and that it's just not an appropriate thing to be doing. But back to my point is, it's like the earlier a boy starts doing that, it's like think of all of the nutrients and all of the just life force energy that he should have, and how much awesomer he would be, because it's like he'd be more intelligent. He'd be like there would just be a lot more that he would have going for him if he hadn't been spilling his seed since he was so young. So anywho, all right, Abdullah A, are you really? I'm not going to talk to you anymore since you're deleting all your messages. So this is me hanging up the phone. Bye. Just kidding. Most humans still don't believe Satan even exists, despite his great deception, the fake globe model, space, invert control over politics, entertainment, business, etc. Definitely. Probably that more people believe in Santa Claus than Satan, right? I don't know. But yeah, once you start looking around and see so many parts of the deception, right? Because the great deception is this whole web full of lies, and there's people all over the earth that are involved in this, right? This really organized evil at high levels doesn't just happen, and it's not being humans are not the ones that are doing it. Of course, we're kind of given different fall guys to point at. Even Bill Gates, like Bill Gates is not like the one that's making these vaccines. Like Bill Gates is not like some evil genius. Bill Gates is a puppet, just a front piece. Someone, hey guys, here you go, attack this person. Love this person over here, attack this person. Like, let's just make sure that any feelings that you have, we have a whole array of targets for you. So yeah, I don't, I definitely don't believe that Bill Gates is a good person, but I don't basically credit Bill Gates with all the things that have happened under that name or with their organization or anything like that. Involved, yes. Mastermind, no. Same as Trump, same as like all of these, even Fauci, like all of these souls that we are put in front of aren't the masterminds. They're just the puppets. So the puppets. Humans are finally waking up, coming into the truth rabbit hole, usually through transvestigation or flat earth. Yeah, I think flat earth was one of the first things that I woke up to in 2015. But at the same time, I heard about transvestigation stuff. I started teasing the guy that I was dating at the time. I'm like, all your favorite sports stars are girls. Like, you've never seen a real girl on TV. Like, so it was kind of funny to look back on that and see how far I've come. Because even at that point, I didn't really dive into the science behind it. I got into transvestigating and actual, learning how the forensic anthropologists do it much later down the road, like a few years. But yeah. Anyways, if you guys are on Facebook, get into the transvestigation groups and come hang out with us. I haven't really been focusing too much of my time on transvestigations because I don't know. For me, I guess I was going to say molehill and then anthill, but anyways, it's bigger than that. The mountain that I'm going to, stand on with my spear, I guess, is veganism. So that's kind of like, if everyone woke up to the invert agenda tomorrow, okay, cool. Those spells are broken, but they're still not vegan. If everyone woke up to veganism tomorrow, then we get to make a better world. So for me, it's kind of like, I'm just going to worry about that one topic and try to do what I can with it, because that's really what matters. And there's animals dying too. So yeah, I guess just picking our battles. Not to say that transvestigating isn't important, but it's just that, veganism is the most important thing that anybody could wake up to and change, because that's what's going to change our situation. So on that note, I think I'm going to go and play with the kids for a little bit. Abdullah, I already hung up on you. Don't try to call back with another name, buddy. It's not happening. Anyways. All right. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope that you have a really wonderful day. And a great Christmas with your family, and lots of love and fun and enjoy. So until next time, see you later.